Welcome to Subramani. I was on ET Now about talking about gold, and one question which keeps coming up is, should you have gold in your portfolio? I do not know whether you should have gold in your portfolio. I don't have a significant amount of gold in my portfolio. I have some physical gold which belongs to my wife, and honest to God, she also doesn't know what is the value. We just know it's lying in the bank locker. It's something which is never used since our marriage, which means about 30 years ago, and just not been touched. So it's lying there. Obviously it is gaining in value, and during times of war or during times of COVID, you feel like, oh my God, I wish at least I knew what is the value. So it doesn't really matter. It does not change anything in my life. Do I invest in gold? Yes and no. I have some SGB which I buy, I think like an annual feature, or biannual, once or twice in a year. I buy the minimum amount which is there, and it's been there right since the birth of SGB. So it may not look too bad, but it is not a significant portion of my portfolio. Yes, it is there. Something is lying there, I know, but it is not something which I trade. So the question is, why do you want gold? Right, gold has been extremely useful for people who were in those parts of India which were impacted by partition. So if you were a Hindu in Lahore or Rawalpindi, which was going to Pakistan, you just collected all your gold, put it in a bag and ran to India and settled down in India. So you could have been a Sindhi or a Punjabi, or you could have been a Bengali, or you could have been in any other part where partition was a bigger problem, where you had to run away, leaving major part of your assets. If there were, say, partition riots in Hyderabad, it didn't really matter whether you had gold, because you were still there. It was not cut into two. Now those parts of the country which were cut into two, they benefited. I know one person who hired a bus and drove out 40 people out of Kuwait when Iraq invaded Kuwait. What they used as a bribe in every stop was, believe it or not, Amitabh Bachchan movie video cassettes. And Amitabh Bachchan was the rage of the 90s. And those videos, and some gold chain, right? Some gold chain or coins, whatever they had, they collected everything, they kept it, and they gave it. So it was very useful for them, because gold saved their lives. It's not something to be scoffed at. Gold would have been very useful for people in Ukraine to run away from Ukraine to some other place, at least till the war is over. Anybody who runs away thinks they will come back and retrieve it. For some people, it is impossible to go back, and then the countries come and just confiscate it. You don't get it back, and all those problems arise. So there, gold can be very useful. So do you want to have gold as an investment like I do? Do you want to have gold thinking that if there is a problem, you will be able to run away with it, and to be able to run with it, and hopefully you will come back and retrieve other assets, but sometimes you may not be able to come back? Or third, do you want to trade in gold? Are you a person who in March 2020 would have said, oh my God, gold has gone up so much, so I should sell gold, right? So you could be a trader. So are you an investor? Are you holding it for safety, or are you going to be a trader, right? So three questions to ask. So if you are an investor like I am, then you can buy SGB, which is the best, because it gives you 2% extra return over and above the capital gain, and it gives you physical gold. So if you're saving for your daughter's wedding or your son's wedding, or for some other reason, it's a great way to be accumulating. You start doing a monthly SIP, or you do, whenever it is on offer, you keep buying. So over 18-20 years you accumulate, and then you use it for whatever. You may use it for her marriage, or she may decide not to get married, or she may have fun using it. There are many women who would today say they don't have money to invest, or they would do 2,000 rupees, 3,000 rupees SIPs, and then call up and say, I bought a necklace for 2 lakhs, right? So they will always find money for that. That is not investment. That is jewelry. Is with the making charges, it's the most inefficient way to invest in gold. That is a personal expense. So don't confuse the two. So if you are a long-term investor in gold, SGB is the best. If you are holding it thinking that the political situation is bad, you may have to run at a short notice, or for whatever reasons you are holding it in the location which you are, then you should be holding it in physical gold and in the easiest to sell form. So which means biscuits or chains, and in smaller pieces, so that in case you have to give to somebody, to if you have to bribe your way through, if you have to buy bread and you don't have anything else, so you may have to do that. So in small coins you could hold. If you are a trader, trader, ETF is the most efficient one because you can buy, sell, entry exit cost is less. But when you're holding jewelry for usage, don't confuse it for investing, because the making charges, taxes, everything hurt you. So don't fool yourself into believing that you are holding it as an investment. You're not holding it as an investment. It is an asset which you are using, and you're enjoying using it, right? I'm enjoying wearing this shirt. I don't look at what will be the sale price of this shirt or this coat or this pen or the camera which I'm shooting, right? So I'm not looking at a resale value. That is a usage value. So jewelry is usage value. So this is my view on gold, and many people will advise you that you should hold 10% in gold or something like that. I don't know. I don't hold enough gold to talk about it. I'm not capable of talking about it. Will gold outperform? Gold has outperformed Warren Buffett over 20-year periods, right? So gold will at some stage outperform, at some stage it won't. At some stage, when you think you should be buying gold, it would have been exactly the time when it has already gone up. It would have been lovely if I had made this video 4 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, saying, look, if there is a problem in Ukraine, then the gold prices will go up, and that's the best time to be selling. So is this a good time to be buying? I don't know. Or should you wait for Putin to withdraw from Ukraine and then the gold prices soften a bit and then should you buy? I really don't know. So if you are a long-term investor, do an SIP in SGB. Whenever SGB is on offer, you keep buying, and over a 10-20 year period, I'm not sure whether it will outperform or underperform, but it will perform maybe less than equity, but it gives you a diversification. It also means that you should be willing to sell. So that's also important. You should be, as a trader, you might make more money in gold than as a pure investor. As a pure investor, I think the returns are more like debt, and the risk is more like equity. So do you want to take extra risk to get lesser return? That's again a question to answer. I am an investor. I'm a brave investor, so I don't have much gold. And that's the best I can say. Please find your own style, what you should do. Don't ask me, should you invest in gold? I actually don't have an answer. I can tell you what I do. I don't have enough gold in my portfolio to be able to talk about it very sensibly. So I'm a wrong person to be asking whether you should have gold. I'm the wrong person perhaps even to be asking whether you should have real estate. So I can only tell you what I do, what I know, and what has worked for me. Maybe gold has worked for somebody else and real estate has worked for somebody else. Equity has worked for me, so I'll talk about equity, I'll talk about mutual fund and all that. And gold, I'm not the best person to talk to about. Thank you.